Hi, it's Corey at CJ and Build. Today we're doing a mini episode about how things happen during actual construction. When you saw this episode was titled Order of Operations, did you have flashbacks to middle school math? Even if you don't remember what they are, I'm sure you remember that there is a set order for solving any math equation. There's even a little acronym, PEMDAS: parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. Wait, I know what you're thinking. I did not come here for math. Don't worry, either did I. But like in math, there is a set order of operations to how things get done in construction. While, of course, you do not need to know how to do anything construction wise, the more you know about the process, the better prepared you will be for this phase of your remodel or build journey, and the less stress it will cause. It will make it easier for you to ask any questions of your contractor if you know generally what order building happens, and it will really help you make sense of schedules that he shares with you, both schedules of how his team plans to work and of when you need to make any outstanding decisions. Demo day. I know, everyone knows what demo day is because everyone has seen Chip Gaines or the Property Brothers or any number of other TV people cheering for demo day. Woohoo! Demo day. But this stage is obviously the first one. You need to get out the old to make room for the new. Depending on your project, this could involve just removing some cabinets, ripping up some flooring, or taking down an entire house. If you've bought a lot and are building, or bought a house that you are tearing down to build, or are building in addition to an existing house, you may have to clear trees and brush and or level the land. I remember our build site in East Marion, New York. There were so many trees when we first looked at it, we couldn't even walk the whole lot. Okay, yes, I am also very afraid of poison ivy. Once it was ours, we had the whole thing cleared except for a handful of trees that we wanted to keep. Needless to say, the difference between the lot the day we purchased it and after it was dramatic. For the purposes of the rest of these steps, let's assume we are starting with a nice, cleared, and level vacant lot. The first step on any build is the base, the literal foundation of the house. Foundations are made with poured concrete and steel rods are in them that are reinforcing them. Once made, the foundation is waterproofed. Your foundation could be just a slab foundation, which is like it sounds, a slab of concrete. Or it could allow for a crawl space or a full basement. Your home design and the part of the country you are in will dictate which kind you have. Next up is the framing of the house, which is pretty much like it sounds. The frame or the bones of the house are going up. Floor joists, subfloors, studs that will form the walls, etc. It's a lot of jargon. I'm sure you've all seen images of a house with just its studs. The vertical beams made out of wood or metal that form the frame for the walls, they look kind of like jail cells. Floor joists are the same, but run across the floors. Basic roofing happens here as well. Once the frame is up, the house will be wrapped to keep out the elements, especially moisture, during the rest of the process. How many of you were walked or passed by a house with that white or blue or pink paper on it that says the word Tyvek, Tyvek? Well, that's a house that has been wrapped. Next up, the indoor games can begin. First, the home's systems or the infrastructure, if you will. Subcontractors who are experts in their area will come in to install the basis for the plumbing, electrical, and HVAC systems. Then comes insulation and drywall. Insulation needs will be different in different climates, but chances are you will have something in at least some part of your house. That gets installed, and then drywall panels for walls and ceilings are hung and primed with paint. The studs and joints I mentioned a few items ago, that's what the drywall gets attached to. Then comes interior work. This is where a lot of the inside items are added. Subfloors, floors, cabinets, bathtubs, vanities, baseboards, paint, etc. And then, of course, exterior. This includes things like literally the exterior of your home, but also windows, driveways and patios, and really exciting things like grading that sound like a money suck, but are really important in terms of directing water away from your house. Depending on your builder, these exterior things may start happening as soon as framing is finished, either before or at the same time as the insulation or drywall. Then comes some fun stuff. All your fixtures are installed, as well as the completion of your electrical and HVAC systems, mirrors, shower doors, etc. A lot of times there's a bit of chicken and egg thing going on, especially in the kitchen. Let's say it's all new appliances and everything in the kitchen. Cabinets get set in place and hung, as do appliances. Appliances may be connected at this point in terms of electricity, gas, plumbing, since that needs to happen before they're firmly set in place. But nothing is operational yet, except maybe the fridge, since that's just a plug in and go. Someone will then come by to measure for your countertops, and you will try to wait patiently for them to be fabricated because, of course, by this time, you're dying for the kitchen to be finished and you feel like you are so close to the finish line. Whoa! When the countertops come, they get installed along with the sink, faucet, disposal, etc. You didn't think you could hang a sink without a counter to hang it on, did you? After the countertops, it's also time for backsplash tile, or whatever you're using for your backsplash. And after that, the hood. Depending on the kind of hood, you might have been able to do this before the tile, but if you want to tile all the way up and around the hood, it needs to come first. Then the electrician and or plumber may need to come back a final time to make sure that every appliance is operational and everything is good to go. Don't be surprised when the painters also need to come back. It's quite common that touch-ups need to be done at the very end, but hopefully not too many. I once had an argument with a contractor about this on a renovation I was managing for someone. She said the painters needed to come back and it's going to be an extra cost. I said, the painters always need to come back. Homeowners, by the end of the project, they don't want to hear that they need to pay more money to have the painters come back. If you know that this happens 99% of the time, why not just bake it into the original bid and budget? She thought I was insane. I thought she was being so silly. She was, ruining this excitement that homeowners have at the end about their project with an extra cost that could have just so easily been folded into the other things when she did the original proposal. But we had to agree to disagree. Throughout the process, there'll also be inspections by the city. I'm not going to talk too much about them here, since it may be different in your city than mine, but know that there will be inspections to make sure your house is up to code. Your builder should handle these, unless you really want to be involved, but you should at least know when they're happening. At this point, your house has been built from the bottom up and the outside in, and now you can move in and enjoy. That said, every project is unique in its own way, but these are the basic steps that any builder will follow. I hope this mini tutorial on how builds happen helps you know what to expect from yours. Thanks for listening.